Hi guys, welcome to interview series video. In today's video, we'll see how freshers can apply for job, how should they present themselves in front of interviewer, and also what way they should answer the questions. So as a fresher in a security domain, what type of questions will come? Companies like Sky High, what type of questions they'll ask? Today we have our one of our student named as a Sanjay. Hi Sanjay.
Hi, sir.
So, Sanjay, let's start with your introduction.
Sir, my name is Sanjay. I'm coming from Hosur, Tamil Nadu, and I have completed BTech Mechanical from Chennai, Christ University, and I have pursued a CCIE security course from Networkers Home.
Okay.
And I have completed recently, and I'm giving mock interviews and trying to get a job.
All right. So, Sanjay, let's start from basics. So, guys, in an interview, first of all, understand they won't directly ask you questions at the top level. As a fresher, they'll ask you questions from basics. They'll start you questions from L1, L2, L3. Then they will go for higher level of questions. So, asking you a question, Sanjay, what's the basic differences between hub and switch?
So hub usually works on layer 1 and switch will work on layer 2. And hub has a single collision domain which is prone for many collisions, and switch will work as a per port collision domain.
Okay.
And it has a intelligent device which is used to forward packets based on the destination MAC addresses mapped to it. So hub doesn't have any of these features. So it will do broadcast on whichever the ports are connected, and yeah.
Okay. I need little more elaboration on this. Could you add few more points?
Uh,
Like you can add switch supports multiple protocols like DTP, STP, BTP and all, right? But hub does not support any type of protocols. Switch works with operating system. Hub does not have any operating system, right? Switch supports full duplex. Hub does not support full duplex.
Yes.
It works on half duplex. See, these are the critical type of technical answers that you should give.
Okay.
Okay. So this makes more impact. Having a short answer does not make more impact. Okay. So when they ask you question, seems very simple, right? Hub and switch, but it's not simple. You have to answer full technical answers. Okay. Okay. Let's move forward. Can you explain about TCP header, Sanjay?
So TCP header is of 20 to 40 bytes, which can extend up to 40 bytes. So 16 bit of source port, source IP, and 16 bits of destination IP, and acknowledgement number is of 32 bits, and sequence number is of 32 bits, and 9 bits are for flags, and 6 bits are for reserved bits for future use, and frame check sequence is for 4 bytes. And
What can be a maximum header size of TCP?
TCP header size must be under 1520 bytes, sir. So payload will be of 1460 bytes, which is default, and TCP header can extend from 20 bytes to 40 bytes. So adding up, it will become maximum size will be 1520 bytes.
Okay. So I would like to add few things over here. Mandatory is 10. Okay. And it can go up to 22, max as a 60 bytes. Okay. So that's the size. Okay. Tell me about the headers that the informations that you have inside the TCP header. Could you explain about that?
Sir, source IP is a logical address which the source, like sender, will add their own IP in the source IP column, and the destination IP is IP which we are trying to connect with. So we have to know that, and we will add that in destination IP. And the acknowledgement number is what we receive after the segment has been transmitted and received by the receiver. So sequence number is when the data is bigger and it gets divided into little chunks. So we'll give a sequence number so that how the receiver must receive the data in which form, like numbering that data packets will the receiver will recognize it easily to make the complete data. So flags, it's for 9 bits. And
I would like to stop you here, Sanjay. Is it source IP or source port number? You told about the TCP header, right? So it includes source port number, destination port number, or source IP, destination IP. It's source port number, destination port number, which is of each as a 16 bits.
16 bits.
Okay. Okay. Thereafter you continue.
So 9 bits for flags. So we have various flags in TCPs, and 6 bits are for reserved, which is used for a future purpose, and another 10 bits are used for windowing, which is used for congestion reduction and in the traffic, ongoing traffic. And we have a frame check sequence, which is of 4 bits. So when when the receiver is received all the data, so he will check whether the data is tampered or manipulated in between. So we will come to know that this packet is valid or not valid. If it is not valid, though, so the receiver will discard the packet immediately. It will ask for a retransmission for the particular segment.
Okay. I found some things that you should mention over here, like you should mention sequence number which is of 32 bit. Again, you have ACK number that is again for 32 bits, right? And then you should talk about the flags and all, right? So whenever you guys are talking about TCP header, talk in a order. Tell the entire frame of your TCP. You should talk about the entire picture of your TCP header. And in a sequence, you should tell all the properties, whatever you have in a TCP header. Okay. Like what are the TCP flags?
Yes, sir. So we have a sync flag, which is used to connect with the server or a client. First message for establishing a connection. And we have a finish flag, which is used to gracefully terminate the session. And we have acknowledgement. Acknowledgement flag is used to get acknowledgement whenever the connection is established or a segment is delivered. So there is a reset flag, which is used to reset the connection immediately if there are any malicious things going on. And we have push flag, which is used to push the data before the buffer. And we have urgent flag, which is set with urgent pointer. So before the buffer, it will process the urgent segments.
All right. Well, it's good. All right. So regarding TCP, I'll have few more questions, Sanjay. Okay. So Sanjay, could you please explain me about how TCP establishes a connection?
So TCP has a three-way handshake for establishing a connection.
So Sanjay, could you please tell me about TCP three-ways handshake?
So TCP three-way handshake is a mechanism for establishing the connection between the client and the server. So client will send a sync packet first, and server will send a sync plus acknowledgement packet and for confirmation. And again the client will send acknowledgement packet for server to establish the session.
Good. In TCP three-way handshake, we have something called as a sequence number. So can you add sequence number in three-ways handshake and answer the question again?
Yes, sir. For example, when the sync packet is sent from the client to server, it will carry, like example, 100 sequence number will be added, and from server to client, sequence number will be 101 plus 1 will be added from the server side.
Okay.
And another sequence number initiating the session from the server side, it will carry 200. So the client again will add up one more number with the sequence number, which adds up 201. So the reply for that with acknowledgement will be 201 So the server will recognize it and it will establish the connection.
Correct. So these numbers are like, you know, phantom numbers, okay? And it can be taken randomly. It's not like it should be in a sequence of 100 or 200 only. It can be any random number. All right, Sanjay. Well, you have to little bit work on TCP more. Okay, you have to go little more in depth about TCP header, about the flags, use cases of the flags, like you told about the six flags, right? So, as a interviewer, I'll suggest you have to prepare more about the use cases of those flags as well. They will definitely ask you about what are the use cases. Okay, and one more thing, like how would you terminate a TCP session? How many handshakes are there? Like, yeah, tell me.
For establishing a session, we have a 3-way handshake. Just like that, we have a 4-way handshake for gracefully terminating a session. So first fin flag will be sent from the client to server, indicating that the segments are being closed, and again server will send an acknowledgement for that, and server will wait for the last data segments, and it will indicate the finish flag for the client as well for terminating a session. So client, after receiving all the data segments, once it is received, and it will send an acknowledgement, so the TCP session will be gracefully terminated.
All right. So, guys, with this interview, what you can understand is your confidence level should be very good. Your technicality should be very good in terms of TCP understanding, UDP understanding, right? Whenever you go for a job interviews, these are the core things that they ask you as a fresher. No matter you belong to routing switching field, you belong to security field, or you belong to cyber security or any other. These are the basic questions that they'll be asking you. Okay. Now, being a security student, Sanjay, I would like to ask you a few freshers question, firewall perspective. Okay. So, what do you mean by firewall? What is firewall?
So firewall is a cybersecurity tool which will be implemented between trusted and untrusted network.
Okay.
So it is used to monitor and secure and to inspect all the traffic, incoming and outgoing traffic, based on predefined rules and policies, security policies.
So there are few things that you should include, okay, like inbound traffic, outbound traffic, permit, deny, right? And yes, so it's a security product which is deployed basically between your internal and external network, as you told, private or a public network, anything is fine, right? It is a device that is used to filter the traffic, right? So depending on where we have deployed the firewall and depending on what layer your firewall is operated, it depends what type of traffic it will be filtering. So mostly your firewall is deployed as your edge device between your internal and external device. It will be operating as a layer 3 device, but depending on what type of firewall it will do a type of inspection, right? So what type of firewalls do you know, Sanjay?
Sir, I know about ASA firewall and next generation firewalls and WAF, which is known as web application firewalls. So these are like help to filter traffic from layer 3 to layer 7 itself.
Okay. See, when I say explain me types of firewall, here you should say, you should start with the hierarchy of the entire firewall concept. You should start with, we have a host based firewall and we have network based firewall, right? Do you remember those things?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you please explain?
Sir, we have a host-based firewall and we have a network-based firewall. A host-based firewall is which we implement in our end devices like laptops and desktops in our LAN. And so network-based firewalls are implemented in our edge of the organization's network. So which is like a security guard between untrusted and trusted networks, which is help to secure the network before that malicious things passed through or coming back in.
See, malicious things passing through, that is okay. But if I talk originality or technicality of your firewall, what does a firewall do? It does a traffic filtering, right? Filtering malwares and all those are additional things that we talk about, right? Later we can discuss it. That's an additional part of your next generation firewall, right? Okay, start with continue with your types of firewall. Okay, so we understood host based and we understood we have a network based. Now continue from here.
Sir,
So again, network based, we have into two types. We have software based and hardware based. And this hardware and network, this hardware and the software based firewalls, which we say network based firewall, these are fixed in network. They are not moved from one place to other place. When you say about, host based firewall, those host based firewalls are fixed inside a in endpoint devices. They can move from one place to other place. So you have a host under the network based, you have two types again. One is your software based and the hardware based. Now both software and hardware further can be stateless, stateful, next generation, right? And again we have some terms like we have proxy firewalls, but proxy firewall is different thing, guys. It's basically a different product where you can say it's a kind of a WAF device also, you can say, or the kind of a WSA, right? That also does a traffic filtering, but it does not mean WSA becomes a firewall. So basically I consider three types of firewall, which is stateless, stateful, and next generation firewall. Sanjay, do you have idea like what is stateless firewall?
yes, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
So stateless firewall is like, for example, I can give for ASA, so which has a packet filtering mechanism. So based on the predefined policies what we give, it will filter the packets based on the rules we define. It does not make decisions on what the packet contents of the packet, what are the contents of the packet. So
Does not have a visibility to a payload part.
and it doesn't have a
State
connection
connection.
table between for whom the packet is being delivered or from where the request has been initiated in the first place. So these are all
It has an information to whom to deliver a packet, but it does not maintain the state of connection into a firewall. So returning packet has not, returning packet does not have any other, connection table to get checked with, right? So it simply checks your rule and it allows the traffic. That's it. Okay. Stateful firewall.
stateful firewall has a escalate table, which is a connection table, which makes a major difference between stateless and a stateful firewall, which has a connection oriented session between every user and every layer 7 traffic or whatever level traffic it is carrying. So it will respond only for that exact traffic which has passed through, and so we have reply back for the exact same traffic which is being initiated from our LAN.
All right. So you mean whenever the traffic is passing through the firewall, firewall maintains state of that connection, right? So whenever reply packet comes, that reply packet gets checked against that connection table or a state table and replies back to our destination. All right. Well, you need to do little research, little more practice on this types of firewalls, Sanjay. Okay. Okay. Tell me what is next generation firewall?
A next generation firewall comes with features of intrusion prevention system and intrusion detection system and logs monitoring tools and application layer protocol filtering tools and
Correct.
deep inspection. It comes with deep packet inspection, and it has a sandboxing feature as well. So which gives visibility for many of these things, and it includes VPN connectivity between site to site.
All right.
So these are all considered to be as next generation features for a firewall.
Okay. So this could be answered in this way. Let's say we have a firewall and we have a next generation firewall. Okay, firewall is like you have a keypad mobile, and next generation firewall is like your smartphone, where you have the operating system, you have multiple new applications supported over there, so new securities are there, advanced features are there. Same way you have a firewall and next generation firewall. Firewall is like your, set of rules, or you can say a simple device which has only a firewalling traffic filtering feature. It does not have deep inspection features, like it can't get more deep into your payload part. It can do intrusion prevention filtering, URL filtering, advanced malware protection, right? There are many more advanced features like DLP features, VPN features, and all etc, right? Antivirus filtering, packet filtering, data filtering. There are multiple more features inside the next generation features. So firewall means it does a traffic filtering but does not do a deep packet inspection. That is basically a firewall. It will work at layer 3 to layer 4. Okay. And best example of just a firewall would be your ASA firewall, and next generation firewall examples would be like Palo Alto, Checkpoint, FortiGate, FTD. These all are the next generation firewalls. So guys, this was the video for the freshers. When you go for an interview, what type of questions they'll be asking you. It was a short video, okay? But soon we are coming up with large videos where we'll be covering the entire interview sessions, in which we'll show you what type of questions will be coming for the freshers, for the experienced candidates, and all types. So hope you enjoyed it. See you guys in the next video. Take care.